Hi, this is Andrew Clark, the Logistics Optimizer. Just giving you a quick update on our latest development. We have now added in functionality for purchase order receipt to our Unleashed integration for our WMS. So let's have a look at how that works. So I've got two purchase orders here in Unleashed. This first one has 10 cartons of 12 and 15 cartons of 12. So what we have actually done is we have taken full advantage of the unit to measure setup in Unleashed, and I've set up a bunch of my test items here with eaches and cartons of 12 in for their purchasing unit. So that comes through as the default purchasing unit, and this has 10 cartons and 15 cartons, and that purchasing unit goes through to the WMS so that you receive in the correct unit. And in the second order here, I have created 24 eaches, which is actually 2 cartons of 12, right? But it will be received as 24 eaches, and then 2 cartons of 12 here. And what we'll do is we'll do a short receipt on this one, and we'll see the back ordering process, how it does the order split in Unleashed, and then refreshes that, that back order back to the WMS. So let's have a look at how that works. So in the WMS, those orders have been interfaced through, and then we can see the details here on the order number 66. We've got 10 cartons of 12 and 15 cartons of 12, and on 67, 24 eaches and 2 cartons of 12. So exactly the same as the order was created in Unleashed. Let's go do the receipt on the mobile device over here. So we'll go into our receiving menu, we'll go and do an order receipt, we'll bring up a list of the purchase orders, we'll go into the first one here, and we will receive this one in full. We can add in an invoice number if you want, so let's just do that. Just put in some random numbers there for the invoice, and we can either scan our first item or we can bring it off the list. We'll just do that for simplicity. So we're going to receive those yellow blocks, and we've got 15 cartons of 12. We will receive the full 15, and we'll put them on a license plate. We'll call it a trolley, and that is in the receiving location, and then that is that first one done. So we have the remaining black blocks. Let's receive those 10 cartons of 12, and we'll stick them on the same license plate, and that is done. No more to receive. That is complete, ready to do our next purchase order. So what's happened to that stock? We'll go and have a look. We'll refresh that. So in our receiving location, we have our 2 items received, and they are on our license plate number A0086. Let's go and do the next item. So that, let's just refresh this. Okay, so that order 66 has been received in full, so it's closed. So there it is, it's in a closed status, and then we're going to go and do our receipt on order number 67. If we refresh this, we'll see our receipted quantity has now been filled in on the purchase order, and we get an inbound receipt. There we go, we get our inbound receipt, and we can see the detail on the inbound receipt there for our 10 and 15 cartons. Okay. So next, and then that will receipt in full into Unleashed, and we'll have a look at that in just a sec. So there's a time lag. Typically, we're sending those confirmations back every few minutes back to Unleashed, so that they're not instantaneous, but they don't really need to be either. So now we'll go and do our next order number 67 over here. And this time we're going to do a short receipt. We'll skip the invoice entry, and we'll go and do our first item here. So that is for 2 cartons of 12. And what we'll do is we'll just receive 1 carton of 12 of that item. And we'll stick that in a license plate. Then we'll go to the next one. And this is going to be for 24 eaches, and we will receive 23 eaches. So we've got a carton, and then we're just 1 short on a carton. And we'll stick that in our license plate. And then, because this is incomplete, it still thinks there are some items to receive. So we need to tell it that we finished, that there's no more on this delivery. And then we will close the receipt. User activity is now complete. Now, when we look at this and refresh it, we'll see that there was 12 units out of 24, and 23 out of 24 received on that purchase order. And when we refresh that, we'll see that this order number 67 is in receiving status. So we need to manually close that because that will trigger the confirmation receipt back up to unleashed. And we can put a comment in if we want. So that is now closed. What's going on with the stock? Well, that's all sitting here on a license plate ready for us to put away. Now, put away is a story for another day. So let's see what that looks like in Unleashed. So once that's confirmed into Unleashed, we'll see that 66 has been confirmed in full. So that's our 10 and our 15 cartons receipted in full. We can view the receipt here, and we can see the order and the receipt quantity. So they will, in fact, always be the same. Go back to our purchases. We will see that 67 has now been split. And if we have a look at the split, so that purchase order there for 1 each and 1 carton of 12, so that will go back to the WMS to be received as a back order. And we can see the quantity actually receipted here on the original purchase order. What happens is the order quantity actually gets updated, so this receipt and quantity basically always shows you what you physically received. So you've got your history there. And when you go back to the WMS, that order for the balance has been refreshed, and we can see it here for the 1 each and the 1 carton of 12. So that is receiving with Unleashed, now available in the warehouse management system from Logistics Cloud Code. So if you're using Unleashed and you need a warehouse management system, we have the best one on the market by far. Come and talk to me at Andrew Clark at Logistics Cloud Code. Hit me up on LinkedIn or send me an email, and we'll talk soon.